that in here. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so this has the notes from the last time, but we didn't get very far through it. So determine whether the graph here of this parabola opens up or down. So all parabolas have this a formula, ax squared plus bx plus c. And whether it opens up or down depends on this letter here. So if a is greater than 0, meaning it's positive, it opens up. If a is less than 0, that means it's negative and it opens down. So does this one open up or down? Down. Okay, you're gonna have to speak up. I'm pretty frustrated that we keep having this issue with your headset. You need to ask for one or do something so that we can help.
Okay.
Okay, next question here says identify the vertex of the parabola. The vertex is it's two things. It could be either the min or the bottom, or the max, which is the top. This is the min, and we just need that ordered pair. That ordered pair is 4 to the right and then minus 2 down.
Okay.
All right, and then the last question here, it is asking about the domain and range. There's two, and this is important for your notes here. The domain for these things is always all real numbers. I guess your book says all real numbers.
Yes.
Okay. The range is two possibilities. It depends whether it opens up or down. If it opens up, okay, if it opens up, it is the y value, whatever the y value is, to positive infinity. If it opens down, it's minus infinity to the y value. And you might be asking yourself, what do you mean by y value? It's the y value of the vertex. So what is the y value of the vertex here?
-4.
-4. Does this open up or down?
Down.
Down. So the range is minus infinity to -4 with a bracket. Now your book does this, or your online thing here does it does it like this. It says y is less than or equal to -4.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So those are all the questions from your first quiz, or first homework from the week. So let's look at the second homework and see if we can clear up some of these other things that maybe we're not clear from this. So I'm going to start this quiz again. Snipping the question now. Okay, so it says find the zeros on the axis of symmetry. Do you know what the zeros are? So this is where it crosses the x-axis. There could be 0, 1, or 2 of them. So in this case, there are 2. What are those zeros?
0, 2.
Yeah, and so they can be written like this, or they can be written as ordered pairs, like you just said, 2, 0, 4, 0. Now, the axis of symmetry comes from the vertex. This is the vertex here. What is the ordered pair of the vertex?
3, -.
So the vertex is always y equals, I'm sorry, it's always x equals the vertex value, so h. So the vertex is always called h comma k. You might have seen that. It's always x equals h is the axis of symmetry. So in your problem, what is the axis of symmetry? It's x equals, what's the x value there?
3.
3. Okay. I'm going to grab question 3, and then we'll come back and look at the next one here. So this one says to determine the vertex of the parabola. The problem is that they give you a graph, so you can actually just pick, oh, it's right there. And it is, like, it's completely right there. But, and I'm not showing you the multiple choice on purpose here because I want you to make sure you understand this. There are a couple ways to find the vertex, and it really depends on whether you're in what is called here standard form. The x-coordinate of the vertex is the formula minus b over 2a. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Okay, so in your problem, a is 2, b is 10, and c is 8.
Yes. So you put B. So you put 10 where B is and A in parentheses.
Okay, what is that? And what does that reduce to?
Negative 5 over 2.5. 2.5.
Negative 2.5. Okay. Now, the y-coordinate of the vertex, it comes from putting this value back into the original equation. So you have to put this value of x back in. So it look like this: 2 times minus 2.5 squared plus 10 times minus 2.5 plus 8. Okay. Now, thankfully, the multiple choice answers make it so that there's only one with an x coordinate of minus 2.5.
Yes.
But not always the case. Are you looking at this yourself, or are you just agreeing with me?
I'm looking at this.
No, I mean, are you like looking at it in your homework, or are you just following along here?
I'm looking at my homework and
Okay, I see. Okay, so this is problem 2. It says to find the axis of symmetry, but really the first thing I want you to find the vertex, and I want you to use that formula we just used. If it's ax squared plus bx plus c, the x coordinate of the vertex is minus b over 2a. So I want you to find the vertex of this for me, please.
vertex is 1. Wait, sorry.
I can't hear you.
Vertex is negative 1.
So minus 2 over 2 times 1 is negative 1. Okay.
Yes.
Now I want you to find the y coordinate. I want you to put negative 1 back in for x.
Okay. The answer is 1.
Good. So your vertex here is minus 1 comma 1. The axis of symmetry is the x coordinate of the vertex. It's always x equals a number. In fact, it's x equals h. Your vertex is h comma k. What does x equal here?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Good. Okay, so this one I want you to work out again, and it's asked for the same piece of information that we just worked through in the previous problem.
Okay.
Take about 60 seconds and see if you can come up with the correct answer, please.
All right.
What did you get for an x coordinate of your vertex?
3.
Positive 3. Good, I agree. And then your y coordinate.
You get -10.
So that means either of these could be correct. So
Yes.
the axis of symmetry is which? Because there's two different options here, -6 and +3. Which one is correct and why?
It's going to be letter D because the vertex is +3.
That's right. Very good. Okay. All right, so we're gonna look at the last question here. It actually has a lot of words that really aren't that important for what you're trying to do. The shortcut here is I need you to find the vertex.
Okay.
So just find the vertex of this, and we'll have our correct answer.
All right. Okay, I have my vertex.
Okay, what is it?
5,
Okay, comma.
-20.
That would be correct. Except that's not what. Ooh, they've got an error in their question here. It looks like. I'm just going to graph this real quick because I think that I will see what I'm expecting to see when I graph it. And minus x squared minus 10x plus 5. All right. What did you say you got as a?
My y is -20.
What is your x?
5.
Okay, so your x is minus b over 2a. What is a? What is b? And what is c in this one?
A is -1, B is -10, and C is 5.
Okay, so it's negative -10 over 2 times -1.
Oh, I see what I did. -5.
Okay, so try that again.
My answer would be 80.
Okay, so it's negative 5 squared minus 10 times -5 plus 5.
Yes.
So this is 25, but then you negate it.
Oh. Yes.
This is positive 50
Which
plus
is
5.
now it's supposed to times the negative with the -5, but I forgot that I have to use the exponent first. But
What is the correct answer here? What is it? 30. Can't hear you. Okay, I'm submitting that. All right, so we're on to Wednesday's work. Okay, it says identify the graph of the function y equals x squared plus 6x plus 7. So what I want you to first tell me is, does this open up or down, and why?
It opens up because it's mainly positive and
What's
y
positive?
1.
The
X
one
is
here.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next, I want you to find the vertex, please.
Okay. -3 is my vertex.
That's only part of it. You'd have to give me 2 coordinates for the vertex.
Okay. -2 is my answer for
Good.
the second
Okay.
vertex.
All right. Excellent. Let's move to the next one here. Oh, it's the same thing here. So I'm gonna just put this up here, and I want you to do the same thing. I want you to tell me whether this opens up or down, and I want you to tell me tell me where the vertex is, please.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Right.
All right, I'm back here. The vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex is uh, um, is this here. So it's an equal to positive 2. Did you get that?
Yes.
And then the y-coordinate is minus parentheses 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 3. So that's -4 plus 8 minus 3. So that ends up being a +1.
Yes.
And
Yes.
does it open up or down?
It goes up
Why does it go up?
because it is
What number is in front of x squared?
it's down.
So a is equal to -1. A is less than 0, meaning it's negative, so it opens down. These are things you just have to know. You can't miss stuff like that because they're just definitions. All right. We get another shot here to redeem yourself. Question 3 here. Again, these are just all graphing. Like I've talked to you about using Desmos. I really recommend using it to graph things. You really shouldn't have gotten any of these wrong because you can go to the internet, graph them, and see which one is right or wrong. And maybe you did. I haven't gotten far enough to see if there's other questions. Nope, they're all graphing except for the last one. Okay, so what I want you to do here is I want you to find the x coordinate of the vertex.
So you get 2 over 3 as your
So we
x
got -4
vertex.
over 2 times 3.
Wait, oh shoot, I forgot about the negative. Negative 2 over 3.
Okay, so I only asked for the x coordinate because the y coordinate is much harder
Yes.
to figure out. You have to square both the top and bottom and deal with some fractions. It's a reasonable question to ask, but what I want you to do is tell me: does this graph open up or down?
It opens down.
Feels like you're guessing. There's only two possibilities here, Christopher. If a is greater than 0 or positive, it opens up. If a is less than 0, it means it's negative. It opens down. The only thing I'm asking you to do, and you already had to do it for this, is identify a, b, and c. A is 3, b is 4, and c is -1. Does this open up or down?
Up.
Up. Okay. All right. Opens up, -2/3. Okay. So these are all the same. Let's say, but we should have you do one more. Kind of the same thing here. I want you to tell me the vertex and whether this opens up or down.
It opens down.
Okay, agreed. Find the x coordinate of the vertex, please.
-1/2.
Good. Yeah, it's -1/2. It's minus a -3 over 2 times -3, which is +3 over -6, which is -1/2. Good. Okay. What all I'm doing here is I'm just selecting. Once you know the vertex and in fact, you know that it opens down. Actually, there's two of these here. So we're going to find the y coordinate. The y coordinate is -3 -1/2 squared -3 times -1/2 plus 1. So when you square a negative, it becomes positive. You square the top and the bottom. So this is 1/4. And you multiply by -3, so it's -3/4. This is +3/2 because you multiply the top by -3 and the bottom by 1. Now we're just rewrite everything with a common fraction. -3/4 plus 6/4 plus 4/4.
Mm-hmm.
and that's 7 over 4. The reason that's important is there's a graph here that there's one that has it above the x-axis and one below the y-axis for the vertex. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Desmos. Okay, actually, so if you don't have Desmos out, go there on your computer. I want you to graph this function here, but you got to use x instead of t. So you're going to type in y equals minus 16x squared plus 64x. And then there's two things that I want. I want the vertex. Okay, and then I want this point right down here, please. So those two things.
All right.
And I'll be right back. All right, what did you come up with for the vertex? Christopher, are you there?
Yeah.
What did you come up with for the vertex?
So for my max, I got 2 comma 64.
2 comma 64.
And then for my min, I got 4 comma 0.
Good. Okay. So the ball goes up, hits a high point, ball comes down, hits the ground. So you can see that this is correct because this is the max height, and this is the time that it gets there, and then this is the time for the ground. All right, excellent. Okay, so let me submit this, and then we'll move to your quiz because it looked like you got full mark on Thursday's work.
Yeah.
All right, modules. So you do realize you can get ahead in this class, and you can. I mean, the work goes through like May 17th. I mean, you ought to try to get it done much sooner than that, in my opinion.
All right. Okay.
Okay, quiz is starting. All right, no time limit, no due date, always available. Okay. Wow. I'm going to do them in the order that I think you can do them in, meaning like, let's pick ones that we've already just done. So, I don't like this question, but it's the graph isn't clear. But go ahead and do this for me. Find the zeros of the quadratic function here.
1 comma 0 and 3 comma 0.
What was the second one? I didn't hear you.
3 comma 0.
Good. Good. Excellent. Okay. So the next one here, it's asking to find the axis of symmetry. And to do that, you're basically finding the vertex, the x coordinate of the vertex. So, and the vertex. So go ahead and find both of those things for me here, please.
I get 2. My answer for my y, I get 1. Just positive 1.
Okay, so I agree with your 2. Let's see if we can get the rest of it, though.
Okay.
So what is the y value?
The y value is 1. Just positive 1.
Okay, so that's 28 here minus 56 plus 29. It is indeed 1. So that means that this is correct here.
Right.
Because of the way that they've done this quiz, it's hard to snip all the answers, but this one is just find the vertex. So let's snip this one in. Again, I know it feels really repetitive, but definitely is a skill you have to be able to have. So go ahead and find the vertex for this one, please. Well, actually, I mean, you could actually just look at the answers here. I guess that would be okay. I mean, it's kind of obvious because there's only one place where it reaches a max. I can't hear anything you're saying.
-6, 0, and -8, 0.
That's completely wrong. Means either you're not paying attention or you don't care or I have no idea, but the vertex is 1 point on the graph. You've just found the vertex, like many problems in a row here. Let's see. Vertex 1, 2. Okay. And before that, you found the vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex here, x-coordinate of the vertex here, x-coordinate of the vertex here, vertex here, vertex here, and so on. Was the vertex ever 2 points? I can't hear anything you're saying. I can't hear anything you're saying.
-7, 2.
Now, if we use formulas, it's minus b over 2 times -2. It's 28 over -4, which is -7. And because it's given, we don't have to worry about putting it back in. Plus, we can just look at it right there and see it, which is really nice. All right, so for this next question, I want you to tell me whether the graph opens up or down. And I want you to find the vertex, both coordinates of the vertex.
It goes down.
Why does it go down?
Because there's a negative in front of the x.
Squared. Negative in front of the x squared. This is not important. And more, it would be better to say a equals -1.
Okay. My answer is +1 for my y value, and my x value is -2.
Negative 2 comma 1.
Yes.
Okay. And it opens down. All right, we got the correct graph there. All right, so this problem, you know the answer to this when you see it. It's a because I've asked you to do this several times. It's determine whether it opens up or down. What we haven't done is I haven't asked you to explain why for the answer, but I need you to do that here. This is the total definition. So give this one a try and see what you come up with.
It's the equation is down because A is less than 0.
Okay, so A is less than 0, so does it open up or down?
Down.
All right, so what's the correct answer?
C. I mean, sorry, D. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
Okay. All right, next question here. This one asks for the domain and range. If you look at your notes, do you remember seeing anything about domain and range in your notes?
Let's see. Well, I know that domain is always all real numbers.
That's good. That's a good starting point. Yes, the domain is all real numbers. Do you remember what the range depends on? Depends on two things.
The x and y value,
Nope.
the min and max.
Okay, it does. It depends whether it opens up or down.
Okay,
So if it opens up,
it's positive.
if it opens down, it has different things. But what is the vertex here, please, as an ordered pair?
4 comma negative 3.
Okay, so it depends on the y value. So since it opens up, it's the y value to positive infinity. Now your book expresses this as y greater than or equal to negative 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's done. Let's see what you have not answered yet. You haven't answered 1, 2. I guess we can do next. It wants the axis of symmetry. What is that related to? What do you need to know to find the axis of symmetry?
The x-axis.
Nope. Do you have any notes on this? We've only done 10, 15 problems on this.
Can you just remind me, or
I'll scroll up here. Let's see where we can find this. So we did a problem here. Find the axis of symmetry. Okay. Find the axis of symmetry.
okay?
Let's see if there's any more here. Okay, so let's do this. What does H refer to?
Your x.
X of what?
X. Your x. Your x.
Where else is H written in this screen?
Your axis of symmetry.
It's right here. What is H referring to?
3, which is your axis of symmetry.
And your K is -2. What is this point right here?
3 comma negative 2.
But what does it refer to?
Your axis of symmetry.
No, this is the vertex. The axis of symmetry is the x-coordinate of the vertex, which means you have to find the vertex first. What is the vertex of this function, of this graph?
The vertex of this function would be your y. Would be -2, 0.
So right there is where the minimum is.
Sorry, I minimized my screen and so -1, 0.
Okay. So the axis of symmetry is the x-coordinate of the vertex. What is the x-coordinate of the vertex?
-1.
Okay, that's your axis of symmetry. Just scrolling through the questions again, trying to find which ones either have not been answered or have been answered, and then looking for the next one to give you. So the next few are going to be graphing ones, and I'm going to ask you to open up Desmos again to do this. You're going to want to graph this, but instead of t, you're going to use x. So this is y equals -16x squared plus 128x. It's just like that problem we did for homework. It's going to go up and down. We need this point and then this point.
So your max is 4, 256.
Okay.
And your min is
Not a min. It's an x-intercept. A min would be if it comes down like that.
8, 0.
Okay. So which of these is correct on the left here?
Letter C.
Okay, I agree. All right. You got your Desmos still open. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to first graph y equals x squared.
Okay.
So just graph x squared. What do you see?
I see that my vertex is 0, 0.
It's a U-shaped graph. It should look something like this, where it just comes up. Okay. Now I want you to do the following. I want you to go to a new line and then also graph y equals x squared in line 2. Let me know when you have that done.
All right.
Do you see that it's the same graph? It's just over on top of it.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to put a 1/2 in front and tell me what is different about this new graph. So still in that, like, there should only be 2 graphs. This should be in, line 1. This will be in line 2. And I want you to choose between wider and narrower. Which is it?
For the second line, it's wider.
It's wider. Now I want you to put a negative in front and tell me what you see.
In front of the negative.
Yeah, we're only making changes to line 2.
Okay. Yeah, it's upside down.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
It's upside down. The second line.
Okay, so that's called a flip over the x-axis, or sometimes it's called a reflection. Now I want you to put plus, I'm sorry, I want you to put -2 in over here.
Okay, yeah, it moved down two spaces.
Good. Excellent. I'm just trying to figure out the answers here are kind of complicated. Okay. All right. All right, this one is less complicated than I thought. It gives you two graphs. I'm gonna snip that in. There's two graphs here. Okay, and if you read the words, it says two pebbles are dropped and they hit the ground, hit the ground.
Uh-huh.
So how long does it take the first pebble to hit the ground?
It takes 4 seconds.
4 seconds. And then how long does it take the second one to hit the ground?
5 seconds.
And that's all it's looking for that, 4 and 5. Okay, I think that's everything on here. Let me double check one more time. And all right, so let me submit. It'll tell us if we haven't answered one. Looks okay. All right, excellent. So I will send you the notes and the screen recording out sometime today. And we
Okay.
probably need to schedule more frequent lessons, maybe even one a day, to make sure some of this stuff is clear.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.